this, you'll hear me.
Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it, nip it.
All right, everybody, welcome to the program tonight. I am happy to see you up in this place. I'm trying to figure out, why were you guys late to the party? I started at 8:30 right on time, and nobody showed up to meet me here. You know that's not the truth. I was working. So tonight I have scheduled a special guest. We're going to be talking to a North Carolina state trooper, and we're going to talk about police. We're going to talk about all of that. We tested this afternoon, as I always do, in preparation for the show. Even got Tech Buzz involved, had all the audio worked out. Everything was perfect. So when you do a show like this, you prep all of the production stuff, all these buttons that we push to make it look pretty. You see old Barney staring at you there. That's all behind the scenes work. And then I put all the content together, which is all the news and all the information and the things we're going to discuss, the fun things. And then with that done, then if I'm having a guest, I bring the guest in and we do a test call. We make sure everything's dialed in. And this afternoon we tested and we're working perfectly. There was nothing else to worry about. And for some reason, when it went time to make the call, Trooper Locklear's internet went out. So we were scrambling. And I know Tech Buzz Stephen Haywood will be laughing at me, but everything was ready to roll. We were scrambling. I was pushing it as long as I could to try to get everything working, and it was just not possible for tonight. So he is watching tonight. We're still going with the same show. It's going to be an awesome time together. Randy Hill, it's going to be Alan Locklear that's going to be up in here on Tuesday. So we made the plan that on Tuesday, Alan Locklear will be here again, North Carolina retired state trooper, talking about Blue Lives Matter, talking about police. Also, he's going to be talking about some other things that are very interesting that you do not want to miss and that you can be a part of. So plan on Tuesday. We've got a great guest, a state trooper. It is going to be an awesome time. And I'm making him drive out of the hills of North Carolina and go find a wireless connection that is better than his redneck connection through the forest under the creek in the muddy pond. I don't know what internet connection he's got, but he's got to pick it up. Alan Locklear. Sorry, guys, man, you don't have to worry about that one bit, brother. You will be back in here on Tuesday night, and that'll be Alan Locklear popping in here. But hey, it's Friday fun night. We're going like normal. I'm going to set the stage, and that'll prep everything to be ready for when Alan is in here on Tuesday night. I hope you guys have had a great day. I've had a good day getting all this stuff together. I see everybody loading up in here in the multiple Facebook sites, in the YouTube channels, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to have a good time. And we're going to start with a question of the night, okay? We're going to start tonight with a question of the night. Then the question of the night is going to move to a beverage of the night. And then we've got all kind of news we're going to look at. But I've got some bad news. Here's the problem. My family is putting me on a diet. Now, I don't want any comments from the peanut gallery out there. Mark Reimold, keep all your comments to yourself. But I am being put on a diet. So we're going to do a little challenge here on the PG and Barney Show because my family members will tell you that I am an all or nothing guy. So I'm 100% or zero. So today is Friday, June the 4th, and we are going to be dropping a little fun time where I'm going to go on a diet from June the 4th until August the 27th. And then I'm going to eat every Lucky Charm that I can find because they're not made by Kellogg's. They're made by General Mills. Remember, we boycotted Kellogg's. So Mark Reimold, stop it. Not a seafood diet. I'm expecting healthy food, that healthy steak and soap. June the 4th to August the 27th, we're going to do a little project together. Now, maybe you're at home, you say, you know what, PG, I need to lose 5 or 10 pounds too. Well, good, but I'm going to be the crash test dummy. So are you ready for this? Here it comes. Time for the question of the night. Question of the night is, and you are more than welcome to guess this and to try to figure it out. And I'm going to tell you, how much does PG weigh? How much does PG weigh? Now, you've got to take into consideration, you've got to understand that most of this weight is pure muscle. Now, I'm already hearing Ray Fell. I already hear you saying Yep, the muscle in the jaws. No, listen, these are pythons right here. You're not going to hurt my feelings. It's not even possible, I promise you. I want you to throw into the chat over the next couple of minutes, how much do you think PG weighs? Yes, it's getting deep in here. And Stephen Haywood, I had an audio failure on the Wi-Fi. Linda Cassio up in the program. Ted Link, Bill and Kathy Jones, Rick Berry. God bless you. Ray Fell was getting worried. Rhonda Hodge, you know I'm coming. Thomas Mirko guessing 190. Mark Reimold 196. Randy Hill coming in with, this is pretty good right here, folks. Wow, this is a weighty matter here. Pam Bowman 160. What planet are you on, Auntie Pam, North Carolina? Ray Suhuliga. Myrna Scales, yes, I was late. We were working on a few things there, getting it going. Rick Powers, you know what, Mr. Physical Therapy, you could guess how much OPG weighs. Stephen Haywood, I would never laugh at you. Things happen. Yeah, they do, buddy. Ray Suhuliga, 220. Rick Powers, 192. Myrna Scales, 186. Candy Tart, 205. Heather Weinmiller, 200. Kathy Jones, 185. Melanie Scales, 185. I think I've started a revolution in here. Oh, my goodness. Carolyn Cadman, 205. Bill Jones says 198. So, folks, that is why tonight the beverage of the night is changing.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to witness is not only exciting and educational, but sometimes a bit risky as well. Do not try this at home. It's time for the beverage of the night.
Folks, it's time for the beverage of the night, and now my family has adjusted me to water. So I thank you for all of the beverages of the nights that you send in, you mail them in, you do all those things. Please continue to do that. But if you do, I'm requesting for the next 3 months, beverages of the night be either diet or pure trash healthy drinks. Next 3 months, well, basically 3 months, pure no unhealthy beverages, okay? Healthy, it can be disaster, it can be muddy water. I don't care. You guys like sending me junk. Just make sure it's healthy. So the beverage of the night, my family's starting me off right tonight with the key lime water and carbonated. Key lime is my favorite flavor. So I'm very thankful for that. So folks, on Friday nights, we will be reporting in on Friday Fun Night. And we will be doing what is called Scale It Down. Check this out.
Let's see, I'm not too hungry this morning. I'll just have orange juice, bowl of cereal, stack of wheats, 3 eggs over. Make sure they ain't running off.
Right.
Bacon on the crisp side, white toast buttered, hash brown potatoes, and coffee. Coffee.
Does my heart good to see a thin person eat.
So, folks, that's what I'm going to be doing. We're going to be scaling it down for the next 3 months. Ronald Leon Vander 187. All right, folks, let me see here. The winner tonight of Who Got the Closest? Ray Suhuliga. I stepped on the scale right before I went live on the air. I better drink some more water. And listen, don't y'all be bringing me Reese's cups by here or shipping them in. I'm all or nothing, baby. 221.6. 221.6, and remember, it's all muscle. Abby France, my health instructor there, saying diet soda is worse than regular soda. Well, don't bring me any soda. Just bring me that trashy Kamchutka junk y'all like to feed me. And all that stuff. Hey, we're going to have a good time. I got some crazy news we're looking at tonight, and you guys get ready. Here it comes. Folks, old Barney is up in the house tonight helping me with the news. And you are right, Ray Haliga. Muscle weighs a lot, and I'm pure muscle. Thank you all for your guesses. My apologies once again for being tardy tonight, but we're going to get rolling. I'm going to get you an hour's worth of stuff in here in the 45 or 48 minutes we're rolling on the clock. And it's going to be an awesome, awesome time together. We're going to start right here. There is a battle going on between the Pentagon and between the Department of State for the United States. You can see right here that the Pentagon is not allowing pride flags to be flown on installations. The Pentagon came out today and said, we will not allow pride flags to be flown on installations. Now, here's the problem. Blinken, you remember who Blinken is? That is the Secretary of State. He is the guy that came out and says, hey, we can fly pride flags, BLM flags, whatever you want. We can fly them on American-owned properties at embassies and installations around the world. The Pentagon has come out today and said, we are not allowing pride flags to be flown at any defensive installation that America has. Only the flag of the United States will be flying. Now, I'm here to tell you, I've told you over the last couple of weeks that there is a tide shift going on in America. Americans are seeing that not a lot is happening in our country. Yeah, now thank the Lord, we really have made good progress against COVID. We've still had some struggles with it, but we've made great progress. But in every other area, economically, foreign policy, domestic policy, and I can keep listing for the next 30 minutes, we are really struggling, and Americans are seeing it. And what is interesting, when you look at Facebook and you look at social media, you just do not see it out there anymore where people are posting about one side or the other a lot. It's really moved back to look at my bag of popcorn on Facebook. Why? Because nothing's happening. Nothing is happening in this country right now, and we are in for some interesting waters ahead. But with that said, I think it's bringing us to a place of positivity in our nation. It's bringing us to a place where people are realizing we need answers, and answers are not found in the White House. Answers are found somewhere else. And that is where it comes in as your part and my part as an American citizen, not only to teach and to tell people about the greatness of America, but most importantly, tell them about the love of Christ and the work of God that is going on in our country, because I'm telling you, it is coming and it's going to be great. Something else that's very interesting, the State Department is all confused. They're all messed up. Everything's going sideways on the State Department because it's just being released now that the State Department was steered away from probing into where the coronavirus came from. Now, I'm going to explain that to you. Our State Department started investigating, and you've probably seen the 2 or 3 headlines if you're watching news other than PG and Barney, which I really don't recommend. Just check with me on Tuesday and Friday, and I'll update you on what's going on and give you a biblical viewpoint. State Department started investigating. Okay, where is this coronavirus coming from? Was it man-made? Did it come from an animal to a human? Was it a biological weapon? Should China pay for this? They started investigating, and it's very clear, it's written in reports that they have determined that whether it came from a animal to a human or it was genetically altered in the lab in Wuhan. Either way, it escaped the Wuhan facility. That's as far as the State Department got. And you know what kind of State Department we have. It's not like we have Barney Fife over there who would get to the bottom of it in a New York minute. But that's what they have concluded. And instantly, the Biden administration has stopped further investigation into the origins of the coronavirus. And one may ask, why on earth would we stop the probing into where it came from, how it got circulated through the globe as it did, and if the Chinese government, remember, not the people, the Chinese government, that rogue regime is responsible for this, then they must be held accountable. But here is the problem with that. We have a country right now with a foreign policy and leadership that is not going to hold anybody accountable for anything. So personally, I think there's some fear in that because our administration, not only is Putin going to clean their clock, but the Chinese president would also clean their clock. So it's very, very interesting that the research into where this has come from is nixed. And you would say, well, wouldn't it be nice to do that and maybe get some of the money back if they're guilty of allowing this to happen or doing it on purpose? Sure, it would be. And that's what I would be doing. Is if I was president, I would be getting to the bottom of it. And if you let it out or you did it on purpose, you're going to pay for it, period. But I'm just broadcasting live from the Palatial Studios. But if they need help, they can for sure call me. I'm easy to find, and I will be glad to come help. But here is the real kicker. I bet you didn't know this. This is not hearsay. This is a fact. The American government has been funding the lab in Wuhan. Now, let me explain. There are a lot of very right-wing journalists out there that are writing that America underwrote the whole thing. That's not true. None of that is true. But the American government did fund Wuhan for a purpose. And the purpose, they called it to receive the gain of function. Okay, so it's not like we were paying, the researchers in the Wuhan lab, or we were underwriting all their costs for the research, but we were paying for, what is it called? Gain of function. Now, when I looked that up, what that means is we were paying for the results that they would get out of that lab. So in a roundabout way, you could say we were funding the Wuhan lab. Gets very interesting, and probably some of the main reasons that we are stopping the State Department. You've got Rick Barry in there always. I got to get Rick in here with me one time. He would just be awesome. Obviously, Biden and left fear repercussions from China if the truth comes out. With that, I believe I would absolutely agree 100%. So there's something goofy there, but that is the truth. You're going to see a lot of things. America's paying for this, or they stopped researching. But the reality is we were paying for the knowledge that came out of the Wuhan lab. So I don't know if we're ever going to get to the bottom of that. For sure, we do not have leadership in place to be bold enough for that, but we shall see what will come out of it. Speaking of that, folks, this is going to get very, very interesting very quickly. On June the 16th, I'm telling you right now, we may just do a watch party and live stream this thing. It's going to be interesting, and it's a sad day, but Putin says U.S. wants to hold back Russia as the Biden meeting looms. There is already a pretty good wall of disdain between these two leaders. And here we are, June the 4th, and President Putin is already throwing his jabs at President Biden. In fact, in a news conference a couple of days ago, and I'm not going to show you this clip, A news reporter in the White House asked President Biden, "Are you afraid of Vladimir Putin?" As he was walking off the stage, he kind of peered back and said, "Of course not." I'm not sure about that. Russia tells the U.S. to expect uncomfortable signals ahead. So I've put the danger meter in here, not in danger for conflict or anything, but I have put the danger meter up in the orange to the red because this is going to be a very, very interesting situation. And I'm going to tell you something that's very important here. How this is handled on June the 16th is going to pave the way for a lot of the foreign policy that is going to be going down in and for America over the next months and years as this administration unfolds. Folks, now let's go over to what's happening in a conservative world in President Trump land. Facebook has suspended Trump accounts for 2 years. That came down today. Now, there's some interesting things here that I want to draw your attention to. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I look for facts. And I do not allow social media, internet, videos, some overgrown. I've got to be careful now. It's Friday fun night, though. Some person never moved out of their mother's house, living in their basement, make videos and tell me what's going on in the world. No, thank you. I'll do the research for myself. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am a believer in the sovereignty of God. I am a believer in the biblical viewpoint. And I think that's why you're in here and you support this program the way you do. And there's a lot of you in here tonight on a beautiful Friday night. So for that, I say thank you. But I'm a sovereignty guy. I believe in the sovereignty of God. I believe in the word of God. I believe that sometimes things have to unfold to allow the timeline of God to unfold in our lives. And a lot of these, well, I just can't go there, but a lot of these prophets and all this stuff that's, that happened over last year and, you put it in the bank, it's money in the bank, January 20th, Trump will be president. And, you try to cover it up and say, well, he's still president. He's just not in the White House. Oh, and Biden's got a dummy in the White House. Listen, trust in the sovereignty of God. Why are we trusting in the words of man? Why are we trusting in the words of man? We trust in the sovereignty of God. We trust in the word of God. With that said, I like to look at things. So look at this. Facebook has suspended Trump's accounts for 2 years. He will be reinstated or reviewed on January of 2023. Now, this is why I'm drawing your attention to this, and this is why I think that this is very, very interesting tonight. Take a look at this right here. JP Morgan freezes donations to Republicans who contested the election. And the other headline at the bottom there from Yahoo is Trump restarts rallies, which he's doing. GOP strategists hope against all odds that he won't rehash the 2020 election. So, folks, it is going to be very interesting summer with what is going on with our foreign policy, what's going on in our border, all these other things. And now President Trump is going to be out doing all of these rallies. And listen, I know you guys have seen the videos floating around Facebook and all this mess that come August, Joe Biden's going to be taken out of the White House and President Trump's going to be reinstated. If you believe that, just send me a message and I'll help you understand. I've got oceanfront property in Oklahoma for you. It's beautiful, big cabin, real cheap. But that's what happens when people just start going around crazy and crazy. Greetings to you, Loziers. Greeting Larry Gorley. Greeting Bob Piccarilli. I see all you guys. God bless you. And thank you for being a part of the program tonight. But now, why do I bring these up? Because there is something interesting if you look just a little bit deeper. When is the midterm election? And this has nothing to do with where your viewpoint is. Let's just look at facts. When is the midterm election? November 2022. A year and 4 or 5 months from now. 2022, November. How long has his Facebook been suspended? Until January 2023. JP Morgan is freezing donations to Republicans, and there's a timeline on it, until 2023. What is going on? What is going on is there is already a manipulation in place. I did not say stealing. I did not say hijacking. I didn't say anything. I'm using the word manipulation. There's already manipulation in place. These are facts from social media and from finances to try and start working towards favorable results for the 2022 midterm election. I don't think it's going to work, personally. I really don't think it's going to work. And this is not about, honestly, this is not about left or right. You guys have been in here with me and we've grown together. I do not throw out jabs because everybody needs Jesus. We got a huge crowd in here tonight. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the likes and the shares, whatever platform you're on. It's very important. We're getting it out to more and more people. The truth. We believe in the sovereignty of God. We believe in the word of God, but we look at what's going on around the world in real time. So for sure, there are some goofy things afoot. But I don't think this is going to work because I think what's happening is people are starting to wake up. People are starting to smell the coffee a little bit. They're starting to see what's going on, and they are reevaluating. And that can be conservatives, that can be moderates, that can be liberals. They're reevaluating. So let's allow time for the reevaluation. And you say, okay, well, I don't like it that way, PG. I don't like it that I have to wait for a reevaluation. I don't like it that things aren't the way I want them to be. Well, of course we don't like it, but what are we to do? We're to be salt and we're to be light. We're to be good examples. On Tuesday night, we're going to have a great chat with State Trooper Alan Locklear. It's going to be awesome. You're going to be encouraged. He's going to give some testimonies, talk about some future, and we're going to give honor to our police officers. It's awesome. We're doing what we can do. Keep doing it. But things are going to work out. I'm telling you, stick with me on that one. How do you handle it? Well, Nigeria is handling it this way. Nigeria is handling it this way. The Nigerian president, Muhammad Buhari. Have you ever heard of Muhammad Buhari? He is the president of Nigeria. Folks, Nigeria is a fairly powerful nation on the African continent, one of the most powerful. And I love Nigeria. One of my piano teachers was from Lagos, Nigeria, Fred Agambi. So I know Nigeria. I know some Nigerian people. There's some wonderful people. And this president here, he is Muslim. His name is Muhammad Buhari. He tweeted, now listen to this. He tweeted, you tweet on Twitter. How you like that, Rodney Scales? I'm sure you're over there pulling your phone out right now and you're ready to start tweeting. This president tweeted a day ago because there were some youth in the southern part of Nigeria in gangs. Now listen to this. In gangs, vandalizing buildings and infrastructure and cars and, just being unruly. So he tweeted to the young men in southern Nigeria, our homeland, please be aware that we do not tolerate vandalism and destructive behavior in our country. If you continue this, we will catch you and we will punish you according to the law. Please be civil. That was his tweet. Twitter suspended President Buhari because they said that his tweet was inciting violence against people's freedom of speech. i.e. vandalism. So do you know what Buhari did? President Biden, you better never go and mess with Buhari. Buhari banned Twitter from all of Nigeria. He says, you can't tell us what we can communicate to our people. You're a company in America. You don't tell us what to do. I'm trying to communicate to the youth of our country to be civil and act like responsible citizens and grow up and be good people. And you're going to tell me I can't tweet to my country members? Bye-bye Twitter. Twitter has now been banned in the entire country of Nigeria. You know what? Kudos to you, sir. That took a real leader. That's leadership. And well, he's a Muslim. Well, yeah, and there's lots of other Muslims around the world. They need Jesus. But the man being president in a, largely Muslim nation did a great job there and stood up to giant tech trying to tell the world what to do. So you know what? He gets one more cheer. God bless you, Buhari. Now, may you come to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ, be converted, and do your thing for Jesus. That'll be awesome. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Somebody has to have a backbone around this place. Interesting. On the financial front, we get all the news coming out that the U.S. has added so many jobs. It added 559,000 jobs in May, well short of expected labor rise. I just want you to see the headline. So you see the headline, right? Let me zoom into the headline for you. We got power up in here. Let's zoom in. The U.S. economy added 559,000 jobs in May, well short of expected labor rise, and this is progress, President Joe Biden said today, Friday. What is not being told is that nobody's going back to work, and that a majority of these jobs that are being counted are in foreign nations that appear on companies' bottom lines for their job reports. They're American companies opening up jobs, not only in America, but in other countries as well. Very, very interesting. 559,000 jobs added, but that is not workforce. As we've discussed before, these people are staying at home. I'm very, very, very concerned about what is going on in regard to our economy and to people getting back to work. Now, folks, I want to talk to you tonight about something serious. I tell you all the time that I try not to throw stones, arrows, or rocks. I try to be biblically based. There's only been 2 times over the past 15 months that I have asked you, because you're in here with me twice a week. You know where I'm coming from. We're growing together. We're watching what's going on. There's only been 2 times over the past 15 months that this program, 15, 14, pushing into 15, 14, whatever months that we've been growing this program together, that I've asked you to maybe take an aggressive stand on something. Number one, months and months and months ago, I asked you not to follow a certain prophet, pastor, and I proved to you why, and I called him out on it because he needed to be called out on it. It was unacceptable, his behavior, and that was on the political side. Way before the election, I told you, I said, listen, leave this guy alone. Don't listen to this guy. That was number one. The second thing I asked you to do was I asked you to boycott Kellogg's. And I showed you why. I was very serious. That did not inspire my, what are we calling this? Scale it down with PG? No, my family's yelling at me because I eat too many Lucky Charms. So they're putting me on a diet. So we're going to enjoy it together. Remember, the number is 221.6. You'll get your next report 7 days from today. And it better be down because I've got all of you to be accountable to until August the 27th. So we'll do that together. So it's only been twice that I've asked you. Well, I'm not going to ask you to boycott anything tonight. I'm not going to ask you to change your opinion on anything. I'm not going to try to persuade you on something tonight, but I want to show you something. And, You know, I try to be fair to everybody. I'm well aware that the majority of the folks that watch my program, not only here locally in Pennsylvania and Ohio, but all throughout the country, most of them are conservative. Most of them are Christians. Most of them believe the Bible, but not everybody. In fact, there are Christians that are in this program that are a part of this program that have different viewpoints on different topics. That's okay. We believe the Bible is the Word of God. We believe in the sovereignty of God, and we have to work through the things that we may not always see eye to eye, but I try to be fair and honorable to everybody. We have moderates that are actively involved in this program. And yes, we even have some liberals that watch the PG and Barney, and they'll send me a message privately and say, you know, I don't agree with you, but I sure do enjoy your show. And that's great. That's what we want it to be. That is why I'm never throwing arrows. I love everybody. God loves everybody. But with all that said, I'm very concerned right now with what we are projecting as an American government at the top. I'm very, very concerned because, of course, we're seeing it. And I see the messages in the chat, and I love it. I love y'all guys chatting and talking about it, and everybody's got their opinions. You know, well, President Biden, they're going to remove him, or he's going to get sick, or he's going to forget where he parked the Air Force One. You see all the stuff out there, and then nobody goes harder on Kamala Harris than I do. But I'm telling you right now, you need to think about something tonight. And it's very important what I want to talk about the last couple of minutes. And this is working out perfect. We're going to move Alan Trooper Locklear to Tuesday and have a great time with him. It's Friday fun night. We're having fun with the drinks and PG losing weight and all this. But listen, we have a problem. We have a problem. And the problem is not that God is not in control, and not that this is not an opportunity for the love of Christ and revival to come to our land and world. But on the natural stage, we have a problem. And the problem is foreign nations, whether it be Vladimir Putin, whether it be other foreign leaders in other nations, whether it be the president of China, it doesn't matter. They're looking at our weakness as a nation. And folks, it is scary. I am convinced that is why the Pentagon came out today and says, sorry, at our defensive installations, only the American flag will fly, not the pride flag. Because this is American defensive forces. This is the American defensive wall for our people. We're flying the American flag. I believe others in our government are having to make statements to at least show some signals of strength still remaining in the United States. But those of you that are following this thing, Biden's going to get removed. He's not going to make it his whole term. Folks, Civics 101, do you know what happens if President Biden leaves office? God bless her, but Kamala Harris is not qualified to be president, vice president. That's why Jen Psaki's the vice president and Kamala Harris is the press secretary. That's my running joke. It's Friday fun night. Be careful what you're asking for. With that said, I personally believe we need a complete sweep in our government. But we are in a civil nation, and it's not going to happen unless there is a sovereign move of God somehow until the 2024 election and the 2022 midterms. That's why we're watching when goofy things happen in the 2022 midterms, where we're trying to hold back finances and silence, President Trump or whoever else. And it's just the way it is. Be careful what we're looking for and what we're asking for. Now, I said all that to say this. Right now, on the foreign stage, Washington, D.C. is being laughed at, being mocked, being ridiculed, and listen, being accused of things that are unpresidential. Sky News in Australia, Sky News in Rick Barry, you drive me, I love you, but you missed it. But now I know how you're keeping up with me, Rick. Sky News. Sky News in Australia picked up a story from Hannity on Fox. And the story was about some of President Biden's behavior and some of Vice President Harris's behavior. And the commentators just went crazy with it about how unpresidential, undignified, un-American, and basically even criminal it was. And I am going to show it to you tonight. From that, this news got picked up and started moving through Europe and then started moving through Asia. That's how it happened. It went from Australia, then it went into Europe, and then from Europe, it started going across Asia. And it was the representation of what our president and what our vice president have been doing. And folks, I'm going to show it to you because it's in the news. You need to see it. And this is why we need to pray for our nation. And Rick, if they want to shut me down on YouTube, they're more than welcome to, because I already own my own website and we can just go to my website and do anything we want to. We got really smart people, so everything's good. So, folks, I want you to check this out. I've tried to be as honorable as I could to the president, to the office, but this behavior, I'm just going to call it for what it is. I'm just going to call it, and if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. But it's basically pedophilia. It is basically pedophilia. And then for Harris, it's just a complete disregard to America. Clueless wonder. Folks, unbelievable. Check this out. Here it is. Here it is. Where did I put it? Here
Joe
it is.
made more creepy remarks about a very young girl in the audience. And of course, he stammered and stumbled and bumbled like he usually does. But yeah, this was particularly creepy.
I'm especially honored to share the stage with Brittany and Jordan and Nathan and Margaret Catherine. I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what, and look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady in her waist caught.
Meanwhile, Vice President Harris, she had a cringeworthy moment of her own during a commencement address at the U.S. Naval Academy on Friday. She obsessed about green energy, made a woke joke that almost nobody found funny except for her. And then she did what she usually does, starts laughing, somewhat uncontrollably, somewhat uncomfortably. Look.
You are electrical engineers who will soon help convert solar and wind energy into power, convert solar and wind energy into combat power. And just ask any Marine today, would she rather carry 20 pounds of batteries or a rolled up solar panel? And I am positive she will tell you a solar panel, and so would he.
It wasn't funny.
That was Hannity on Fox News mocking the Biden administration. Hannity poked fun at the cringeworthy moments that both President Joe Biden and his VP Kamala Harris had suffered over the weekend. The pair also came under fire for their disrespectful tweets for the Memorial Day weekend.
But for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, it's just a nice long weekend. Have a great long weekend. No Joe and no Kamala on Friday. Biden kicking off the national holiday, tweeting a picture of himself with an ice cream cone and a caption that reads, "Stay cool this weekend, folks." And not to be outdone is Kamala Harris tweeting a picture of herself, smiling from ear to ear. Enjoy the long weekend, with no mention of why we have a long weekend, which would be Memorial Day whatsoever.
Many social media users quick to remind her that the weekend was a time to remember and honour the millions of Americans who lost their lives while serving in the US military. Lauren wrote, "Care to mention why we're having a long weekend, Kamala?" Kyle said, "Is this intended to insult the memory of the fallen? Because that's how it reads." And Kimberly said, Long weekend. I know many are upset and saying this is disrespectful, but I believe you are really just stupid. Social media also took aim at Biden's tweet, arguing it was a real misfire from the president. One user wrote, "Do you know why we are having this long weekend, Joe? To memorialise our fallen heroes who died to make this country great. You, sir, are not one of them."
So, folks, there you have it. That's what Australia's picking up. And yeah, it was first done on Hannity, but now the foreign countries pick it up. And then it goes from Australia, it goes to England, it starts working its way through Europe, and then it works into Asia. And the next thing you know, this is what people are seeing, and this is their viewpoint of America. And I'm just going to make 2 comments on this, and I'm going to give you a scripture tonight. And I'm really pumped up about Tuesday night. It's going to be awesome. But folks, first of all, that's the most unpresidential thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I was born in 1972. I am 48 years old. I am a historian. I watch so much history, it'll blow your mind. I watch speeches. I read all this stuff. I try to be educated to share it with you. And that is the most unpresidential, disgusting thing I have ever seen. And I'm here to tell you tonight that if some CEO had said that of a company, they would have a policeman knocking on their door. And by goodness, if a Republican, conservative, Christian, Christian, conservative, it doesn't have to be Republican. If they said they were a Christian and they made that statement from a public podium looking at a little girl, I'm telling you right now, the police would be knocking on the door. The most disrespectful, unpresidential display I have ever seen in my entire life. Be careful. Secondly, what a disrespect to all of our fallen soldiers this past weekend. And I try not to be negative in here, but sometimes you got to call it what it is. It was a disaster. Caring more about your own interests than even considering those that have given your life so you can sit there and lick your ice cream or take your picture of yourself and tweet it on social media and say, have a great weekend. Long weekend. Why do you have a long weekend? It's because many people in this chat right now, their ancestors gave their lives up for this country. They shed their blood so that you and I didn't have to. So tonight, we give a big shout out. We give a big thank you to all of those who have served in our military and died for it. This is not Veterans Day. This was Memorial Weekend. My goodness. And finally, one last comment. Do you really have any clue what you're talking about, Press Secretary Harris? Do you really have any clue? And yes, I will put this on YouTube as a short. Do you have any clue what you're talking about? First of all, and I do not mean any disrespect to male or female here, but what on earth are you talking about? Just ask her. And at the very end, well, ask him too. I'm not even going to talk about that. But evidently, you have no clue about anything military-wise in our country. That's why you will not show up at the border, because you're probably scared that something's going to happen to you surrounded by your entourage. You're scared of your own shadow, probably. You're weak. You're pathetically weak. And when you look at American soldier and you make a joke that they want to be carrying around their solar panel instead of their batteries, when they're out there face to face on a foreign battlefield with an AK-47 staring at them, what are they supposed to say? Oh, excuse me one moment. Excuse me, but I need to unroll my solar panel and I need to charge up my little water pistol, because you know what? I can't shoot you to take you out. I can just get you, wet with the water pistol and tell you, now listen, don't you be doing that. You go the other way. Are you crazy? Roll up some solar panel and carry a battery. You are clueless. I'm trying not to get riled up, Russell James. I see you. I do solemnly swear, affirm to support and defend. Come on right here. Bam. Let's pop it up there for everybody to see. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental, and he keeps going, My box is not long enough. What a disgusting display by Washington, D.C. this weekend. May God be with us. But for sure, our soldiers do not need to be carrying around solar panels. Get a clue, Press Secretary Harris. Get a clue. You tell a joke at a military installation and they don't even laugh, and then you put that little Wizard of Oz. Somebody's got to tell the truth and still be honorable with it. I'm trying to be honorable to these people. But my goodness, when you spit on my grandfather's grave, who risked his life to battle, to defend our country in World War II on a destroyer, while kamikaze Japanese pilots were dive bombing their planes into his boat. Don't you dare tell the wonderful American servicemen and women who have died and gave their life, have a long weekend, have a great weekend. I'm licking my ice cream. And make sure you carry your solar panel to make sure your water pistol is charged up. No, ma'am, no thank you. Flush it down the toilet. May God bless America. May God bless our troops. We preserve the memory of all those who died and gave up their lives. And we pray that the justice and the liberty that has been afforded us through those soldiers and through the work of Jesus Christ will reign and will be sovereign in our nation as God works out his plan to get to the very end. May God bless America. May God bless you. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 says this way, have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous, do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Listen to me, you patriots, be strong in the Lord, be strong in the word of God. Do not fall for the traps of the enemy. Don't listen to these words that are so hollow because these people have no real life experience. They're scared of their own shadow. Make sure you're standing in the liberty wherewith Christ has set you free, and our soldiers have paid the price so we can be free. Boo on all of you, Washington. God bless you and God bless America. The best is yet to come. Period. Woo! I think I lost it. I think I absolutely lost it. But you know what? There was no way. I try to monitor what I do and say, because I still have to represent right. But there are just sometimes that somebody that is in, Christian position that can articulately speak about things with some education can make statements. We cannot any longer hide behind our glass pulpits inside of our stained glass windows and saying kumbaya and just believe everything's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay unless you and I, the people of God, stand up and speak for what is right. And what is right is our soldiers must be honored. There we have it. I'm sorry for going 9 minutes late tonight, but we were a few minutes late hopping on. On Tuesday night, North Carolina State Trooper is going to be in here, and I'm going to tell you what, it's just going to get better and better. Hey, we love you guys. You guys have a great weekend. It's Friday fun night. Remember, PG's on the diet. I am 221.4, and we've got video proof of this, June the 4th, 2021, and we are running this program until August the 27th. On Friday night, August the 27th, I will do a live weigh-in on the scale with a camera, and you will get to see. I'll keep you updated along the journey. We love you. Thanks for being a part of the program tonight. All of you joining in from not only here locally, but all over the country. We love you. May God bless you. And of course, may God bless America. Good night.